Okay, my name is Brenn Little Light. My parents are Annabelle Soloway and the late Louis Redoman. My grandparents are Arthur and Nellie Little Light and Sam and Annie Redoman. And I have one child. You've met him, Wasey. Thank you. I do have all my information in the back there. I do have a couple of things on my platform, but what I want to talk to you guys about is the off-reserve issues. I live here in Calgary. I've been in Calgary for the last 10 years, and I know what it's like not being heard, skipped over. When you try to reach down to the reserve, you don't get there, even though they're using our numbers. I want you to think about that, what I just said, our numbers, because I'm going to bring that up many times in my speech today, okay? So I worked with the Calgary Homeless Foundation. I was their Director of Indigenous Relations. And what I did with the Calgary Homeless Foundation was I worked with 26 agencies and 50 programs. So I know the resources out there for the Indigenous people and the non-Indigenous people. We did a point-in-time count, it's called PIT, and that really hurt me when I did that. What we did was, I think it was April 11th last year, I went down to the Elbow River. I went through all the different streets underneath the bridges, counting the people that were homeless. 75 to 80% of those people were Indigenous. I don't think I'll ever get that image out of my head. Anyhow, with the Calgary Homeless Foundation, they get $53 million every 2 to 3 years. Out of that $53 million, the Indigenous people get $1.2 million. That's it, out of the 53. Even though that 75 to 80% is Indigenous. I put together an Indigenous cab, so they decide where the money goes. And when I went out and met quite a few people in different shelters, I noticed that there was quite a few people from Siksika, Ghani, and the Blood Reserve. So when we got this Indigenous cab together, I made sure there was leadership. Carlin's on that board. So with that board, they decide where the money goes. My dream, and I'm really pushing for this and advocating for this, that $53 million shouldn't go through the Calgary Homeless Foundation. It should go automatically to the Blackfoot Confederacy or the community entity that I put together to make sure our people get the funding. I want to do an urban Siksika point-in-time count. I'm actually doing one down in Siksika. I just met with Alberta Rural Development Network on Friday, and we're going to do one in Siksika. With those stats and a very extensive report, we'll be able to access funds from the $40 billion National Housing Strategy and the $220 million off-reserve funding. When I was in Edmonton this past Friday, I met with INAC, and I talked to them for about 2 hours and explained to them, what's going on with our off-reserve. And so they've asked me to help them along to put some reports, get some stats, so we can get some housing for off-reserve people. I also was talking to the City of Calgary about a year to 2 years ago. There was 7 pieces of plots of land that was handing out, and there's one left over. And I spoke to them quite extensively and explained to them that we do have quite a few people here. About 3,000 people from Siksika live in Calgary, when there's 4,000 plus on the reserve. So I'm looking to see if we can purchase that land. We put together a business case. And with that business case, we went out and did consultation with all the different agencies, all the different First Nations communities, and we're now applying for $26 million to have an Indigenous-owned shelter in Calgary. And with this shelter, it's going to be family-run. But we're still working on that right now. I also want to talk to you guys about the Kenney budget. The Kenney budget it's making me nervous because it's affecting nonprofit. It's affecting AISH. They also took a bunch of money from the lottery. That lottery actually funded over 200 programs. So we no longer have the funds here in Calgary. Am I done? Well, if you want to know more information, just come up to me and talk to me. Okay? Thank you.